Hi boys and girls, so before we start cutting our foil, I want to talk to you really quick about the kind of rule of 1/3 that we're going to use here, okay? So I want you to think of your piece of foil. We're going to pretend like this is our piece of foil right here. I want you to think about if you were to divide it into thirds, okay? So say this is 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, okay? These lines are what you're going to cut up to, okay? So we're going to take at the bottom and we're going to cut up, we're going to go right about halfway, so 1/2 way. We're going to start in the middle and we're going to cut up to this line right here, okay? So we're going to cut right here, and I guess I'll do a solid line for the cuts. This is just the line that I want you to remember, that this is about 1/3 and this is about 1/3. So we've got almost an equal section here. And then from the top, we're actually going to cut in here and here. I want you to think about this as 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, and maybe leave your middle part just a little bit wider because this is going to be where your head. So you're going to cut down right here 1/3 of the way down, okay? And once you get this cut, so these are the only places that we're going to cut. Okay, and right here you're going to cut. Just put that there. Okay, so we're going to cut here, here, and here, 3 cuts. And then this section, when you squeeze it together, this is going to be the body. Okay, this over here is going to be a leg, arm, and then this is your head, okay? So you want, that's why this could be a little bit bigger, because you're going to squeeze it into a ball shape, and then these are going to be your hands. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and do this. So here's our foil, and we said we're going to think about it in thirds. So I'm not going to cut any further down than this, and I'm not going to cut any further up than this. I'm going to start in the middle of the bottom. And I'm going to cut up about 1/3 of the way. And then I want to take the top, and I'm going to, now I'm actually going to turn this down just because it's easier for me to cut. But from the top, I want to think about this into thirds, maybe slightly smaller third here, okay? And I'm going to cut down about 1/3 of the way. Now, I've done it both ways where these were exactly the same, and so that works too. All right, turning it back over, I can see this is going to be my head, okay, and this is going to be one of the arms, the other arm, and the legs. I might actually put that up just a little bit more because I want my legs to be a little bit longer. Okay, now you're going to take and squeeze the middle in. I can still see here's a leg, here's an arm, and there's my head, okay. Now you're going to just gently start to squeeze them in to get them kind of, so you can keep track of them. I kind of do that. And then this one, I want this to be into a ball, so I don't want to squeeze it too flat. I want to actually kind of keep it round. Okay. Your neck is one of the smallest places, but warning, do not twist this or the foil will probably tear. And I've had somebody who that actually ripped off. Now think about the bending parts on your body, okay? Once you have these kind of squeezed in so that they are more the shape of an arm. And again, if you squeeze them really tight, you'll have more of a Giacometti type sculpture. If you don't, it might look more realistic. That's up to you what you want. Don't forget that we don't stand on our tippy toes, okay? Everybody should be bending in. I should see a foot and on where your knee would bend, so I want you to put in those bendable points. Even if you're not going to have them standing like that, go ahead and put it in. You can always straighten it back out again, okay? And the feet, make sure that you have enough there to make a foot. Don't just use one little piece of foil. A foot, your ankle should be smaller. Think about proportions. Your ankle should be smaller than this part of your leg, okay? And then your arms, shoulders. I try not to squeeze those in too much because I don't want it to be too skinny. Elbow, where would your elbow be? Where would your wrist be, right? My wrist, oops, that would not be bent right there, but this would be bent here. So think about the bending points. You should be able to bend it here at the wrist, depending on what you're going to have your hand doing. Okay, if he's waving, I might just want his hand up, right, like that, maybe to the side. If he's got his hands on his hip, this would be bent like this, probably. Okay, so whatever you want to do, go ahead and sculpt your guy into that position. Okay.